Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Drogs, 4th Adventures. We're going to be going up against the Horde Crone on expert difficulty. So, this is actually my second attempt, but I don't think I'm going to upload the other video that I did this morning because I just realized getting it set up again. First of all, I lost. I didn't play with expert difficulty. I was actually just playing him on normal, and I lost pretty badly, actually. So, yeah. So, Horde Crone summons these little orc dudes, trogs, that they have different effects. The first one never does anything, then the second one creates an effect, the third one has a stronger effect, the fourth one has the strongest effect, and then discards that type when it gets drawn. So he kind of escalates that way, kind of like a more powerful Carapace Queen. It's a good way to look at it. So if you really enjoyed her, he might be a fun guy to fight. And his special ability for increased difficulty means the Trogs have 3 life instead of 2, where normally they have 2. We also are going to be starting with 1, so we're going to start with an Orp in play. Alright, and I'm going to be playing with a specific style. I'm going to attempt to defeat him on expert difficulty by running out the Nemesis deck, not by actually defeating him. So I'm mostly just going to keep the Trogs in check, kept my special abilities up, hope for the best. Alright, and I'm going to be using Jade, 2 cost, gain 2 Aether. Diamond Cluster, 2 cost, gain 2 Aether. Gain 4 if you have 2 Diamond Clusters, for your second Diamond Cluster in that hand. And Brandishing Topaz is one of the expansion gems. 5 cost, gain 2 Aether. You may place any card in hand back on your deck. If you do, gain an additional 2 Aether. And then we have Transmogrifier. Destroy a card in hand. You may gain a card from any supply pile. Costs up to 3, more than a destroyed card. Very cool. Vin Dynamo. Suffer 1 damage. Any player draws 2 cards. Or destroy this. Any player gains 2 life and 1 charge. Super good for Kadir, who I'm not using. Spectral Echo. This is to take advantage of that Transmogrifier. Cast, deal 2 damage. You may destroy a card in hand. Cost 3. Also took Combustion. Deal 2 damage to a minion. Deal 2 damage to different minion or nemesis. And then this text explains that it does go to 3 and 3 in a 3rd or 4th breach. Devouring Shadow, 6 cost. While prep once per turn during your main phase, you may destroy a card in hand. Cast, deal 3 damage. And Monstrous Inferno, this is our real damage dealer. This spell must be prepped to 2 adjacent breaches, so this card touches both breaches and fully occupies both breaches. Deals 7 damage, divided however you choose, to the Nemesis and any number of minions. We're going up against Horde Crone with Zana and Nim, 2 of the expansion mages. I do like the 3rd one, but for this particular style, I think these 2 are the most offensive. Although Reeve does help you defeat minions faster. Zana's special ability heals Gravehold by 7. Nim's special ability discards undrawn Nemesis cards. So if I draw an attack card, then he discards 2 of them. So that's the whole point there, is to kind of shorten that deck. Especially if I can get 2 or 3 casts in the end game. Would be the idea there. Okay, oops, sorry, I hit the camera. Alright. Zana also does not have a first breach. And yeah, let's get going. Alright, we're going to start with Nim. He's going to prep Cinder. I forgot to tell you what this does. It works as a spark, or I can use it to gain 2 Aether on cast. And for 4 Aether, he's going to buy a Diamond Cluster. And then Zana will use 4 to open her 4th breach and prep Eternal Ember. So Eternal Ember is her unique card. It deals 1 damage on cast, or you can cast any of your prepared spells without discarding it by casting the Eternal Ember instead. Alright, Nemesis' turn. Crushing Masses, power 2. If there are no Trogs in play, unleash twice. Otherwise, Gravehold suffers 2 damage for every Trog in play. There's currently 1. Okay, Nemesis gets a double activation. Crushing Masses activates. There's 1 Trog in play. That brings us from 30 life to 28 on Gravehold, which is good. And then we draw a card. Overwhelm, Unleash. The players collectively discard number of gems equal to the number of Trogs in play. So that's 2. All right, she has 4. I will have her discard 2. Yeah. Okay, and then Nim's turn. So Nim is going to cast Cinder for 2 Aether, and then use that with his 3 crystals to open his second breach. And then prep 2 Sparks. Then Zana's turn. She's going to cast Eternal Ember for damage. It gets +1 from the 4th breach, and she's going... Oh, no. Right. This is why I keep forgetting. These guys have 3 life, not 2. But she does 2 damage to the Yud regardless. She preps Spark, and she's going to purchase a Jade. I almost did it again. Nemesis gets to go. Banesire, Persistent, Unleash, 6 life. Nemesis again, so we get an Unleash. We get a Zom. And we draw a card. Agony Field. Power 2, Unleash. Any player discards 3 cards in hand and draws 1. If you discard, destroy a card in hand that costs 2 or more. Okay, Nim's turn. He's going to cast both Sparks. 1 will kill the Yud, and the other will do 1 damage to the Banesire. He then generates 6 Aether. He buys a Devouring Shadow. Zana's turn. She's going to cast Spark for 2. Drops the Banesire from 5 to 3. And then she generates 5 Aether, and she buys a Combustion. She gets to go again. She's going to prep Eternal Ember, and she generates 5 Aether again, and she buys another Combustion. And we get Nim. He's going to prep Cinder and Spark, and for 3 Aether, he will buy a Spectral Echo. Okay, we do get Nim. He's going to cast Spark for 1 on the Banesire. Cinder, he's going to cast for 2 Aether. He will prep Spark and Devouring Shadow. And then he generates 4, 5, 6. So I can take 6 Aether, or I can destroy Crystal and take 5. I think I'll do that. I'll destroy Crystal, and I'll take Combustion. Alright, nice. And we do get Zana. She will cast Eternal Ember for 2 damage, which is enough to kill the Banesire. Very nice. She will then prep Combustion to the 4th breach, and she will pay 3 to focus her 3rd breach and prep Spark to it. So I have a lot less economy than I normally would. Gone much heavier on the spells early, but I've been able to afford them. So far it's been working out. Okay, they don't do anything. Take a token off of the Agony Field, which I kind of forgot about. And then we bring out Slaughter, Unleash, and then Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Orb. So Gravehold takes 2 damage from the Orb, 3 from the card, so that's 5 total. That drops us from 28 to 23. All right. Nim's turn. He's going to cast Devouring Shadow. He's going to kill one of the Orbs for 3 damage. I'm not putting him in there. Okay. He will prep Spectral Echo. And for 4, he will buy a Transmogrifier. Nemesis gets to go. Agony Field activates. We're going to Unleash. Bring out a Yud. It's our first one, so no ability there. Any player discards 3 cards in hand. We're going to have Zana discard 3 crystals and then draw 1. Okay. And then we draw Unleash twice, then discard a Trog in play. So we get a Zom, which means Zana's going to take 1 damage. It's lowest life, but they both had 10. And then we draw another Zom. Any player discards 3 cards. Ooh. So we will discard Crystal, Spark, and Cinder. Nim. And then I will choose that Zom to be discarded, which is the last ability of Night Raid. Alright, and then Zana's turn. Cool. Okay. So she's going to cast Combustion. That's going to do 3 damage to Zom, and she will also take out the Yud. Does 3 damage to two opponents. She'll then prep Combustion. Spark will also go off because it's an unfocused or unopened breach. Focused but unopened. And do 1 damage to the Nim. And then she generates 3 Aether and buys a Spectral Echo. Much tighter than... So I think that first game that I played on normal. I think I got really lucky with turn order and just Nemesis deck and how the Trog deck rolled out and all that. I had no problem. I don't think I had a Trog ability activate the entire game, or maybe one late in the game. All right. We will cast Spectral Echo, kill the Zom for 2. We will not destroy a card. We will prep Combustion, and then Diamond Cluster is worth 2. We will purchase a Jade. Get to go again. All right, we will cast Combustion for 2. It will do 2 damage to the orb. Spark will do the 3rd point of damage. And we also do 2 to the Horde Crone from the Combustion. Drops him to 58. We will prep Devouring Shadow. We will use Transmogrifier, destroy a crystal, to get a Spectral Echo. And since we've already prepped... No, and I will spend 2 to purchase a Jade. Nemesis' turn. Board is clear. Dispel, unleash twice. Player with the most prep spells discards their most expensive prep spell. Two Yuds. Any player suffers 2 damage, so Nim is going to take that, and that drops him from 10 to 8. And then any player, I guess he'll discard his Devouring Shadow, since that's the most expensive spell. Alright, and then we get Zana. She will cast Combustion. That is enough to destroy both Yuds. 3 damage to each. She will prep Eternal Ember, and then for 4, she will buy a Transmogrifier. Nemesis again. We get Horde Hybrid. Immediately unleash. Zom. So he counts as a Zom. Which means the player with the lowest life suffers 1 damage. That would... yes, that would be Nim, because he has 8. So he goes from 8 to 7. And the Horde Hybrid has 7 life. Yeah. We're going to cast Eternal Ember for 2 damage on the Horde Hybrid. Prep Combustion. Pay 2 for Jade. need to go back and get some crystals. Alright, Zana's going to go. Combustion is going to do 3 damage to the Horde Hybrid and 3 damage to the Zom. So the Horde Hybrid's left with 2. Zom is destroyed. She's going to prep Combustion again. And then she's going to pay 3 to focus her 3rd breach, where she will prep Spectral Echo, holding on to Spark. Nemesis gets to go. Servitude to Evil. To discard, spend 7 Aether. Power 2, unleash 4 times, then discard 2 Trogs. Alright. We take 1 token off Servitude to Evil. And we draw Cauterizer. 3 life. When this damage is dealt to this minion, reduce that damage to 1. Any player suffers damage equal to this minion's current life. Alright, we get Nim, Cinder, Spark, plus 3. He buys a Jade. Yeah. I really need more gems because I'm about to destroy all my starting gems and then I won't have any economy. Alright, Zana, nice. So she's going to cast Combustion. That's enough to destroy the Horde Hybrid. 3 damage. It does 1 damage also to the Cauterizer. She will then cast Spectral Echo to do 1 damage to the Cauterizer, and she will destroy a Spark. She will then use Transmogrifier on a crystal, destroying it, purchasing a Spectral Echo, and then with her remaining 2 crystals, she will buy a Jade. I'm not going to be able to discard Servitude to Evil. I just didn't get the gems earlier on. Alright, Nim's turn. He was going to cast Spark to kill the Cauterizer, 1 damage. Yeah, even if I use that, that's still only 6 Aether. Yeah, so I will cast Cinder for 2. I'm going to prep Combustion, Spectral Echo, and then along with these I generate 6 Aether, and I'll purchase a Diamond Cluster, and the last Jade. Oh, and that Spark is left over. But I actually can see this kind of working out because that Transmogrifier lets me turn a starting card into a Spectral Echo, and then I can turn a Spectral Echo into Devouring Shadow. And I can turn the Devouring Shadow into a Monstrous Inferno. So from that point of view, it lets me upgrade my cards throughout the game and destroy my starting cards without having much of an economy. Alright, Zana again. We're going to prep Eternal Ember. And she generates 5 Aether. She's going to get Banishing Topaz. I was just going to buy a Combustion, but she needs a little... Nobody has gotten a Topaz yet. And she doesn't even have any diamonds, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. We're going to hold on to Combustion. We're going to cast Spectral Echo for 2. Brings the Horde Crone on to 56 and destroy the Spark in his hand in the process. We will then prep the next Spectral Echo We will use Transmogrifier to destroy Crystal and purchase a Spectral Echo. And then we will use Jade to purchase a charge. He gets to go again. He's going to cast Spectral Echo for another 2 damage. Brings Horde Crone on 54 and destroy a crystal in the process. We will then prep Devouring Shadow. And then we will use that to destroy another crystal. He will then use his 3 to buy a charge. So Nim, so far, this is my destroy pile, has destroyed 5 crystals and a spark. So 6 of his 10 starting cards are gone. Zana has destroyed 2. All right, Zana's turn. She will cast Eternal Ember for 2 to the Horde Crone. She will then pay 3 to open her 3rd breach. And she'll prep Combustion to both their 3rd and 4th breach. The last crystal being wasted. Nemesis' turn. I was not able to get rid of Servitude Evil, so we're going to unleash 4 times. Shuffle the Trogs in, 4 Trogs come out. Still, I feel pretty good. I mean, I have 3 Combustions and Devouring Shadow prepped, 2 Spectral Echoes, 2 Diamond Club. Like, I'm feeling pretty confident, actually. 7 life, 9 life. Already got a couple charges. Feel pretty good. Yud, Zom, Warp, and Zom. So player with the lowest life, Nim, suffers 1 damage. And then I get to discard 2 Trogs. I'm going to discard a Zom and a Yud. So that was about as good as that could have gone. And I still have to draw a card. Immediately unleash twice. Rabid Hysteria. Okay. So we get a Yud and an Orp. So Orp ability activates and does 2 damage to Gravefolds. And then power 2. Any player suffers 1 damage for each Trog in play. Ooh, and double activation. So we take 1 token off Rabid Hysteria, and then we draw. Awaken. Unleash twice, and Gravehold suffers 3 damage, or place the most recently discarded minion card back into play. That would be the Cauterizer. We're going to bring Cauterizer back. He absorbs 3 attacks, but still. I don't really want to bring out 2 more Trogs right now, because each one of them is going to activate an ability. And then that player damage is currently at 4, and we go up to 6. Although this does 3, so 7 damage, 4 and 3, so that's not great either. Okay. Nim's gonna go first. He's gonna cast Combustion and do 1 damage to the Cauterizer and 2 to the Yud. He's gonna also cast Devouring Shadow to kill 1 Orp. He's going to prep Cinder and Spark, and then he generates 7 Aether. She uses to open his third breach. Oh. Nemesis's turn, okay. Any player suffers 1 damage for each Trog in play. That's going to be 3 damage to Zana. And then 2 damage to Nim from the Cauterizer. So Zana's left at 6 life, Nim is at 4. And then we draw the Venomite. 9 life, player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage. Any player may discard a spell costs 3 or more. Alright, Zana, cool. She's going to cast the first combustion to do 1 damage to the Cauterizer and 3 to the Venomite. And she'll do the same with the second one, actually. She'll kill the Cauterizer and drop the Venomite down to 3 life. She will then prep 2 Spectral Echoes. And she's going to use the Transmogrifier actually on the Jade, destroying it and giving herself a combustion. No. Topaz. Okay, she gets to go again. She will cast the first Spectral Echo. It does +1 damage, so it does 3 damage, killing the Venomite. And she will destroy a crystal in her hand. She will cast a second Spectral Echo for 3 damage to kill the Vizon. Also destroying crystal in her hand. She then has 4 Aether in her hand. 5 if I want to return a crystal. That's okay. She's going to spend the 4 and buy the Vindynamo. Okay, Nim's turn. He's going to cast Spark for 1, killing the Yud. Yeah. I will also cast Cinder for 2 Aether. I'm going to prep 2 Spectral Echoes. I'm going to use Transmogrifier on the Jade, destroying it, replacing it with a Banishing Topaz. And then I'm going to use the 2 that I already had, plus the Jade, to purchase, actually, Diamond. I was going to buy a Vindynamo, but Diamond. And Nemesis. So, Rabid Hysteria activates. Any player suffers 1 damage for each Trog. So Zana's going to take the 1 damage. Pulverizing Ray, power 1, does 18 damage to Gravehold. You may discard a gem. to prevent 3 of that damage per jump, up to 6. It's feel pretty good. Breaches are almost open. Or kinda. Deck curation's going well. Still don't have any Monstrous Infernos. I would really like to get those combustions off out of the shop. Alright, Zana's turn. We're going to prep Eternal Ember. She then generates 6 Aether. And Dynamo on the charge. Nim's turn. He's going to cast Spectral Echo for 3, kill the orb, and use that to destroy the crystal that's in his hand. He will then prep Combustion and Spectral Echo, and he generates 4 Aether and buys Vin Dynamo. Nemesis' turn. Pulverizing Ray activates. I have 5 gems. I'll use all them to bring damage down to 3. 18. And we draw Doom Aegis. The player with the most charges suffers 4 damage and loses all of their charges. Discard, spend 7 Aether. Power 1, so not likely. Zana's turn. Alright, she can't do any... Oh, yeah, okay. I will not cast Eternal Ember. I will prep Combustion, and I will use Transmogrifier on Combustion, destroying it, but allowing me to purchase a Monstrous Inferno. Yeah, Nemesis goes off. Doom Aegis goes off. Player with the most charges. That is Nim. Suffers 4 damage. That is how much life he has. So he becomes exhausted. That sucks. That really sucks. That's not good. So his first breach is going to get destroyed. That's going to discard his Spectral Echo. His first breach gets destroyed. He loses both of his charges. And we get a double unleash as well. Warp and again. And it is his turn. He will cast Combustion. It's +1, so it will destroy both Trogs. He will then cast Spectral Echo. Does 2 damage to the Horde Crone. Brings it to 50. And he'll use that to destroy his Spark. And then he will then prep Devouring Shadow to his second breach. So not unwinnable by any means. It's just unfortunate that that exhaustion happened. There's still quite a few cards. Well, that's a tier 3. Okay. So I can start using this special ability. Alright. So Nim's turn. He's going to hold on to Devouring Shadow. He's going to prep Cinder. And he's going to use Banishing Topaz to return the Transmogrifier, making this worth 8 Aether, and he will buy Monstrous Inferno. All right. I'm not going to cast either of those. I will use Banishing Topaz to return a Spectral Echo to turn that to 5. Using that to open her second breach, allowing me to prep that last Spectral Echo. And then I will destroy the Vin Dynamo to give her 2 life and a charge. So remember, I'm not trying to kill the Horde Crone. I'm trying to outlast them. So it doesn't really make sense for me to cast some of these spells, like that Combustion. This is actually a double Combustion cast. When there's no Trogs in play. Just to do damage to them, it's a waste. So unless I'm upgrading my spells from the ones I have down here, it doesn't always make sense. Alright, so Nim's turn. We will cast Cinder for 2 Aether. Prep Spectral Echo. And then I'm going to use, this might be cheating, I don't know, but I'm going to use Transmogrifier to destroy the Vin Dynamo in my hand. That gives me 7 Aether to purchase Devouring Shadow. And because it's destroyed, any player gains 2 life and a charge. That's how I'm reading it. So I'm giving Zana 2 life and a charge. Then generates 4 Aether. And I will buy 2 charges. Zana's turn. She will cast Spectral Echo, 2 damage to the Horde Crone, destroying a crystal. She will prep Spectral Echo. She will suffer 1 damage using the Vin Dynamo, and then draw 2 additional cards. Interesting. Okay. She'll purchase a Vin Dynamo and a charge. She has 8 life. Grateful does 18. I'm trying to outlast them here. It's the name of the game. All right, Nemesis, nothing on the board. Get Reality Rupture to discard, destroy 2 prep spells that each cost 3 or more. Power 1, unleash 3 times. Nemesis, it activates, so I don't get the opportunity to do that. So the way I used to play is you could discard these things just from what you have available. So I would just discard the Spectral Echo and this Spectral Echo. Now and eliminate that. I don't think that's actually accurate. So I think it actually has to be on your mage's turn. So to discard this, you actually need a single mage to destroy 2 prep spells. So it is what it is. It's harder to do it this way. I think it's correct, but I may be wrong. I don't really remember. That was something I was playing it incorrectly, I think the other way, and a viewer showed me how to do it the right way. All right, so I got Zom and 2 Orps. So the 2 Orps are going to do 2 damage, 2 Grateful, drops us from 18 to 16. Let me draw a card. Obliterate, unleash twice. The player with the most open breaches discards 4 cards or suffers 4 damage. Okay, so we get 2 more. Get a Yud and another Yud. So that's 2 damage to Zana. And then the player with the most open breaches is Zana. That's 3. So she has to destroy 4 cards in hand. Okay. Well, we're not destroying Monstrous Inferno, so we'll destroy 2 crystals, Banishing Topaz, and Transmogrifier. Or suffer 4 damage. Pretty nasty card. Just like that, there's 5 Trogs on the board. All right, Nim's going next. Okay. Spectral Devouring Shadow does 3 damage, kills a Yud. Spectral Echo does 3 damage, kills a Yud. And the Spectral Echo allows me to destroy this crystal that's in his hand. I will then prep Combustion, Spectral Echo. And I have 2 Diamond Clusters, which is enough for 6 Aether, for 3 charges, which is what he needs to power up his ability. And I will use it Terminus Barrier. And that allows me to discard the top card of the Nemesis deck. Besiege, it is an attack card. So I get to discard an additional card from the Nemesis deck, Sunder. I'm not going to bother reading them, but very, very nice. Super happy about that. So that only leaves 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that I have to survive. All right, and we get Zana. Zana's going to cast Combustion. Oh, actually, sorry, scratch that. She's going to cast Eternal Ember to cast Combustion without discarding it, which is good enough to kill a Zom and an Orp. And then she will cast Combustion on its own to kill an Orp and do 3 damage to the Horde Crone, dropping him from 48 to 45. She will then prep Monstrous Inferno to her 3rd and 4th breaches, so that makes it go from 7 damage to 9. And she has 3 Vin Dynamos. How sexy of a hand is that? Spectral Echo, 3 Vin Dynamos, and a Banishing Topaz. Wow. Nemesis gets to go. All right, Underworld Totem. When a player deals damage, that player must deal damage to a Trog if there are any Trogs in play. And so I can't attack this because this is not a Trog. Immediately unleash twice. Persistent unleash twice. Okay, so this is a Dangerous little totem there. Little Trog summoner. So I actually really like this artwork. I just want to talk about this for a second, because I've actually seen what this is based on. So you see this giant tower of all these like hellific souls trapped in bodies, trapped in this like little hellscape tower. There's an actual tower of it's carved out of marble or granite, I think. It's in Norway. It's in Oslo, Norway, in this park, Vigelandsparken. This sculptor Vigeland built the whole park. He got funded, patronized by the government, and donated everything to the government of Norway. And so he crafted and built this whole park that has like hundreds of statues. And in the center, there's a 40-foot tall tower of human bodies. Doesn't look quite like that. It's a little bit more beautiful without all the hellishness. But that's what that artwork is based on. I think that's pretty cool. So unleash twice. Warp Zom. All right, Zana. So she will cast Monstrous Inferno for 9 damage, and that will destroy both the Zom and the Orp for 6. And then she does 3 damage to the Underworld Totem, which leaves it with 9. She will then cast Spectral Echo for 2 on the Underworld Totem as well. She will prep Spectral Echo. She will use 1 Vin Dynamo, sacrificing 1 life, to allow herself to draw 2 additional cards. That did not work out. Do I want to do that again? I think I do. I'm going to pay 1 more life. Drops her to 4. Allows her to draw 2 more cards. Okay, that's a little better. She's then going to destroy 1 Vin Dynamo, which heals her by 2. So undoes the damage I just took, and grants her a charge, which is enough for her special ability, which I will activate, which heals Gravehold 7. So I go from 16 to 23. And now I have 4, 5, 6, 8 Aether, which is enough for a Monstrous Inferno. Normally you shouldn't be buying them that close together, but her deck is so small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that additional draws helped me get through that pretty quick. So I already got the first one back, and then the next one will be in the next draw. I also got one of the Vin Dynamos back. All right, and then we get Nim. So he will cast Combustion and Spectral Echo. That's going to do 5 damage to the Underworld Totem and 3 to the Horde Crone. Brings him from 45 to 42. I will not destroy anything, but I will prep Monstrous Inferno. And then I generate 4, 6 Aether. I can make that 8 if I want to send the totem back and buy another Monstrous Inferno, but you know what? I think I'm better off just buying 3 charges. Try to get his ability back up. Oh, is this card marked? When did that happen? Huh. Okay. I think I'm going to win this one. I feel very in control at the moment. All right. So Underworld Totem activates. It's a double unleash. Tier 3 cards are so strong, it really depends how they play out. Double Zom. Player with the lowest life suffers 1 damage. So Zana takes 1 life, 1 point of damage. And then we draw. Gather Darkness. Any player places their discard pile on top of their deck, shuffles it, and then destroys the top 4 cards of their deck, then unleashes twice. Wow. Okay, I'm going to do that with Nim, because his deck is a lot thicker. Plus, I already know what's in here, basically. She's basically got a 10-card deck. And it's already... So this just needs to be shuffled. Luckily, his Monstrous Inferno is already up there. Devouring Shadow, Diamond Cluster, Banishing Topaz. Ooh, rough. Rough. Oof. At least 3 of them are gems, I guess. Then unleash twice. Third Zom. Any player discards 3 cards. Okay, I'm actually going to discard these 3. Spectral Echo, Cinder, and Devouring Shadow. And then did I do it? Oh, no, and I need 1 more. And again. Okay. Still feel pretty good. It's only 14 damage. I need to clear the board. I have 10 on deck. And here's a Monstrous Inferno with Eternal Ember, so I can double cast it. Zana, and then she's got another one for the turn after that. So that's the 4 Monstrous Infernos coming up in this next round, which should be enough to just burn away anything that he throws at me. I got 23 life on Greyfold. She's got 5 life, but I got a little bit of healing on deck. And he's about to get his special ability up again. So, feel pretty confident. All right, Nim's turn. Okay, so we're going to start by casting Monstrous Inferno. It's going to do 8 damage. And we will burn away these top 2 Zoms for 6. And then it does 2 more damage to the one underneath, leaving him with 1 life. Then our 2 Jades, we will purchase 2 charges. And activate Terminus Barrier again to discard a Nemesis card. Wreak Havoc. That is an attack card. That means we get to discard a second one. Topple. There is only 1 more card. That means if I can make it to the second, through the next activation of Nemesis, which should be able to, then I've won the game. These Battle of Attrition monsters, much easier to do it this way. So, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Transmogrifier, 2 Spectral Echoes, Diamond Cluster, Combustion. Gets to go again. We will prep Combustion, Spectral Echo. We will use Transmogrifier to destroy a Spectral Echo, purchasing a Devouring Shadow. Actually, I'm going to purchase a Vin Dynamo with that. And Diamond Cluster will purchase a single charge. And there is Monstrous Inferno again. All right. Nemesis gets to activate. We get a double unleash from the Underworld Totem. So this is it. I just have to survive this activation, and it should be a good game. Yud. Any player suffers 2 damage. Any player suffers 3 damage. Oh wait, I can pick who gets that. I can pick who gets that. That's okay. Nim's gonna take that. It does double damage to Gravehold instead, 6 instead of 3. So that's gonna drop us to 17. I don't have to take that on the lowest player. And the final card, Jagged 1. Persistent, unleashed twice. That's a game winner. Now the way I play, you still have to wait till the next activation, I guess, till you're supposed to draw the next card. So technically, this double unleash goes off before the draws the next card, so that would be the win condition. I believe that's correct. So I get Zana. And I'm not allowed to target the Jagged 1. So I will cast Spectral Echo for 2 to kill the Zom. Because I can't kill a Yud with it. I will then prep Monstrous Inferno, Eternal Ember, and I will destroy Vin Dynamo to heal herself by 2. I'm giving herself a charge. Okay, Nemesis gets to go. Underworld Totem unleashes twice. Zom, Trog, and then Jagged 1 unleashes twice. Horde Hybrid becomes Yud. Player with the lowest life just suffers 4 damage. So that does hit Zana. And that brings her from 5 to 1. But all Yuds then get discarded. Last one. Can't be a Zom. Oh, work. Okay. Thank God. So that's 2 damage to Gravehold. If it was a Zom, player at the lowest life suffers 1 damage. I have 1 life. That would have been game over. But it was an Orp. That's the second Unleash and Jagged 1. There are no more cards to draw. That's a game. That's a game winner. So, not too bad. That was pretty fun. I really like the Transmogrifier. I thought I hated it, actually, but you really need a 3-cost card to take advantage of it. And what it does is it lets you trade your starting cards in for a 3-cost card, and then trade that 3-cost card in the mid-late, like Spectral Echo. Great early game card. Kind of shit late game card. But I can use Transmogrifier to destroy Spectral Echoes and trade it in for either Combustions or Devouring Shadows. And then I can trade in Combustions or Devouring Shadows for Monstrous Infernos. So that's a killer combination without any real economy. I mean, I did eventually get some cards, but so I bought 3 Burning Topazes, 3 Diamond Clusters, and all my Jades, and 7 Jades. You know, that's not a ton. That's 6 gems each total in their deck. And I mean, look at my destroy piles. Just massive. All right, so I highly recommend this setup. This was actually pretty easy. There were a lot of things that didn't go my way. I did not get Combustions. I really should have gotten all 5 of them much earlier. And by the way, I only grabbed 2. I only grabbed 1 each of these transmogrifiers, by the way. That's it. And 1 each of the Devouring Shadows. Let's see what their final decks look like. Alright, she still has her starting card. Monstrous Inferno. Another Monstrous Inferno. Combustion. Look at that. A single spectral, 2 Spectral Echoes. Vin Dynamo. Banishing Topaz, 2 Jades, and 2 Crystals that she didn't get to destroy yet. I mean, that's it. That's her whole deck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Really 9 after the Dynamo. And then I would have traded these in for the 2 Combustions. Using the... Did she not have a Transmogrifier? Or it must have gotten destroyed with that. Yeah. I destroyed it. Why did I do that? And I don't remember how that worked out exactly. But then Nim, let's see what he has. He has Monstrous Inferno, Combustion, Cinder, a couple Spectral Echoes, Devouring Shadow, Diamond Cluster, Transmogrifier, Vin Dynamo, a couple Jades. Now he got hit by that 4-card destroy, which got rid of his 2 diamonds, banishing and devouring. But there's not a whole lot there. I mean, so again, if I had gotten those combustions and I gotten his 4th breach open, this would have been even easier. But this is definitely a way to go. And I could have been more aggressive with healing her, because I still have 2 Vin Dynamos. So that's still another 4 life points I could have given her. With 2 more charges, which would have also allowed Grateful bigger margins too. And he got exhausted mid-game. So like, this is a very, very viable strategy to defeat Horde Crone. Overall, I think he's actually pretty easy. I think the 6 difficulty rating that they gave him is too low. I think he's more like a 4. Although that's not for expert difficulty mode anyway, I still think he's pretty easy. So yeah, so that's Horde Crone, expert difficulty. It's really my first try, because the second, so I beat him the first try on regular, second try, and then I tried him again on regular on accident and lost, and then to beat him on the first try with this. Highly recommend. All right, guys. Love you. You're the best.